Alright. Hi guys, welcome.
Hello.
Hey. So, if you were hoping to see the Dirty Nil full plugged-in rock and roll show, you need to get in your time travel machine and go back to Saturday night to the Voltage Lounge. Anybody at the show that night, or okay, very nice. You don't need to get back. And then they played the block party earlier this summer, where it was super duper crazy hot. No, that was all of the block parties. Was it that one or the other one? Anyhow, so it was really cool because they hung and they wanted to come and play for us today. So we're super stoked on that. So phones on airplane mode, please. You can take you can take pictures but no videos. And please don't live through your phone because obviously it's pretty conspicuous if you're doing that. When the session is over with, if you can just stay seated, we'll call you out row by row to say hello and grab a picture with the band. Those you will find at radio1045.com within a couple of days. Any questions before we get started? All right, cool. We're going to do this. Let me make sure everybody's good and back. I'm sure they are. I just got the most awkward thumbs up of all time from Jamie. Thank you for that, Jamie. All right, if we are ready. So we have this rare, awesome solo performance from Luke from the Dirty Nil. Luke, are you with us? Luke, come on out. Welcome to Radio 104.5 Philadelphia. It's my favorite thing to be able to say that. I don't know what you do when you go to St. Louis and how you incorporate nil.
St. Lucas, that's my name.
I like that.
We got it all covered, yeah.
What about Anchorage, Alaska? We'll dive into that later.
We're going to have to get back to you on that one.
That is a sweet AC/DC ugly Christmas sweater situation.
Thank you very much.
You have going
Thank
on.
you.
We can talk about wardrobe and music and all sorts of things in a little bit, but we're like music first here at Radio 104.5, so the stage is yours.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Here's That's What Heaven Feels Like, everybody. I'm a million impulse decisions tonight. Back in the city howling, but I won't bite. Bored of a certain safety, got me a death wish, baby. Caught up like a canine, howling in your headlights, rolling through the windshield. That's what heaven feels like. No, I don't believe in the long romance. No crash, leave a flaming vapor trail, and maybe one slow dance. 'Cause you wouldn't know how it feels under the tread of your wheels. Caught up like a canine, howling in your headlights, rolling through the windshield. That's what heaven feels like. Caught up like a canine, howling in your headlights, rolling through the windshield. That's what heaven feels like.
Thank you. I'm going to use my lovely custom Dirty Nail capo now for the next two songs. These are available for purchase. It's there's actually only one left in stock, and it's $20,000 if you'd like to inquire after. All right, this is another one from our award-winning album Master Volume. This song's called Pain of Infinity.
Don't be like that, you're an impasse, an obstacle to romance. Darling, lose that petty attitude, and I can resume loving you. Yeah, you're heaven when you want to be, but when you are not, the ledge becomes an option. I tend to ponder often every day and say, let's do whatever you want, whatever you want, whatever you want. Let's do whatever you want, 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 whatever you want. That's what I want. Wearing sevens on your sleeve, I just can't even believe the things you say and do. All this time I never knew you were in doubt enough for two. You can smile when I'm happy, okay, that's just fine. When will you and me come to terms and finally cease? Let's do whatever you want, whatever you want, whatever you want. Let's do whatever you want, 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 whatever you want. And another thing, baby, I never liked you, and I hate your friends. Loving you, honey, is a pain of infinity, pain of infinity, and it's whatever you want, whatever you want, whatever you want, whatever you want.
Thank you. All right, we're going to keep it Christmas. We're going to keep it Christmas around here, Philadelphia. This song's called Christmas at My House. And it's our humble offering. It's a new Christmas classic. Let's do it. Blind drunk on eggnog with my dad, and I think this dairy might be bad, but I don't care enough to say that we should check the best before date. You and I will come to find our whiskey tolerance makes it fine. Maybe that's just Christmas at my house.
a year where all is right. Going to Taiwan on a little tide, and I don't care enough to say that we should find a better way to ring in one more Christmas Day without the kiss of Tanqueray. Maybe that's just Christmas at my house. At my house, Christmas at my house, Christmas at my house.
That was from the Keeping It Real files. I love that. Radio1045.com. We're live in our AT&T Thanks Sound studio with Luke from the Dirty Nail. Well, the whole band is actually here. Do you guys want to join him on stage? What did we decide? How is this going to work?
Come
Instead
on
of
up, boys.
playing air instruments in the audience, download and use the AT&T Thanks app to experience all AT&T has to offer. So that song is not like officially out yet. It comes out officially on Friday, is that right?
Friday, yes. It's another Christmas miracle, yes.
Friday the 13th at that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. So, it kind of, when I first listened to the lyrics, I was like a little bit nauseous thinking about the bad dairy and getting blind drunk on eggnog. Like, who can drink that much eggnog to get blind drunk? Has it actually been done in real life?
You know,
Is this a real life account of a real family?
it's. I think it's more loosely based on events around my house, but maybe specifics have been blurred for the interests of rhyming words. But there's certainly a fair amount of merriment around my family's household during the holidays, especially.
All right. I like the peanut gallery, the nodding. You guys can feel free to step up to the mic as well. Fight each other for it if you'd like. No, please don't do that. So how was the show on Saturday night? That was not your first time playing Voltage Lounge.
No, it was our second time playing Voltage Lounge, and it was fantastic. Kids bouncing off the walls, and it was. Philadelphia has always been a very kind city to us since we started touring here, and I guess late 2013, so it's awesome to get to play to packed crowds now, and that's a great venue to showcase our brand of bombastic rock and roll music.
Yeehaw, I like it. And then, so Saturday night, that means you had a whole day off between then and now, almost, a day and a half. What did you get yourselves into?
We saw the Toronto Raptors get spanked by your Philadelphia 76ers last night, and then we went to the casino, and I gambled only on a turkey sandwich, and I won. It didn't.
I
didn't
do
come
not
back to
even
haunt me.
understand what you're trying to
They
say.
have a
right
deli at your casino. I don't know which casino it is. Yeah. It's kind of an interesting thing, just people walking around smoking and
Losing
turkey
money.
sandwiches being served. It's kind of like a time machine.
Interesting. No cheesesteaks then on this visit.
It was really fun. There was some friends of ours in from town, actually, or in town from back home. So we snuck down to where their seats were because there were empty seats right behind the Raptors bench, which was cool.
Oh,
First
nice.
NBA game. So.
Did you get sweated on?
No, but we got, Philly fans are mouthy. And that was interesting, but also fearful for my
You're
life
like, we're
in that
nice
moment.
Canadians. What do you want from us? I'm sorry. Should I apologize for us?
Okay, all right. So this acoustic strip back thing is like new-ish in the repertoire of the Dirty Nil. Am I correct?
It started at the beginning of this week.
What? Yes. How did we get here? And thank you, because I think it was really cool, and I think it probably is way easier to travel that way or set up that way in between. It makes it way more feasible. We get to hear different parts of the song that we don't necessarily hear when it's like buried in noise. So how did we get here?
Well, I think that we're basically lucky enough to get to entertain some new opportunities, and we're going to be darned if we don't accommodate them. So we just kind of we basically just found this tiny little baby-sized guitar. You can't see it if you're not here, but and decided to kind of explore the songs that way for your lovely audience here. So, did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys enjoy the performance? Good. That's a mandatory applause section. I'm not sure if.
I personally loved it.
Thank you, Ross.
I think if you continue to do this, you guys should just be up on stage like air playing your instruments. I mean, come on, a cajon, and we could DI a bass.
We've been talking pretty intensely about it, getting a cajon up there. So, yeah, it's funny you should mention that.
It sounds dirty, doesn't it? A cajon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dirty.
So, holiday song. Where will the Dirty Nil be for the holidays? Do you get to go back home?
We're gonna be back in Southern Ontario. With I think we're gonna be spending a lot of time together over the holidays, as always, and putting on our ugly sweaters and kicking back.
Yeah. What's the most Canadian thing about the band? Like, when you go places, do people say, "Oh, I hear it," or "Oh, do you miss food?" Or is there something that you're like, we are very quintessentially this? Do you love hockey? Something about lyric? Like, is there something that you're like, Dirty Nil is super Canadian because?
Do you guys still shower with maple syrup? I still do. I don't know about you guys.
I'm running low.
It's a good thing to put on the rider, right?
Yes.
The least Canadian thing about the band.
I think our newfound love of Wawa, the Wawa franchise is it's a new discovery and a devastating one at that.
You knew the exact right perfect thing to say and come in here and butter us up. It's like you've been doing your homework or something.
We're just returning the favor because we've been buttered up pretty good at Wawa. So
okay, what you do on stage every night looks a little different than what just happened here for these three stripped back songs with the tiny guitar. It's really physically intense, and I don't want to take any of the like cool or mystery or punk away from what you do, but you guys are in incredibly good shape. Is there some sort of actual, like, I get up and run 5 miles at 6 o'clock in the morning, I sweat with the oldies with Richard Simmons and pop a VHS tape in every day to make sure that I stay in shape? Like, it really is. I mean, is there stretching? Is there what do you do?
we certainly do our stretching. We're all big proponents of the Nike Fit app. Highly recommended to anybody who basically. It's kind of like working out in jail. Like you don't need any weights or anything. So
Body
Nike
weights,
Fit
yeah.
app. And then when we're home, Ross and I go to CrossFit with a bunch of soccer moms and grandmothers, and we do yoga, and we try and stay in good nick because we definitely want to give the kids their money's worth, give them a proper rock and roll show.
I mean, it's no joke. It really is no joke what you do on stage. And I'm like, oh, I'm tired just looking at them. I mean, it looks so fun, but I'm tired.
Thank
just
you.
looking.
That being said, I just ate 4 Pop-Tarts in your lobby, but
I always have a Pop-Tart in my pocket. Yeah.
Life really is all about balance, isn't it?
Yes.
You do those things. You do the
Certainly.
sweating with the oldies so you can walk around with Pop-Tarts in your pocket. Spotify Wrapped just came out for most people, like at the end of last week, I think over the weekend and Friday.
Yes.
A lot of people were sort of like discovering theirs. I was mad. They didn't notify me right away. I had to go digging for it. I'm like, come on, people, priorities. Have you had a minute to reflect on all the fans that have tagged you in theirs and the monstrosity that is like how many hours of music that have been listened to across the world of
Yeah.
the Dirty Nail?
It was definitely very flattering to see the statistics in our corner, but I think as we kind of indicated with our post thanking the public for that, I think majority of those plays were definitely from my grandma and all the people she's in jail with.
I feel like we're back to the Christmas song.
Yeah.
It was Grandma you were drinking the eggnog with.
Yeah. She doesn't mess around. No.
Do you find here at the end of the year, and particularly at the end of the decade, as a band, you've started to get like a little bit nostalgic and looky backy and that sort of thing, or do you think that won't happen until you're like properly back at home and you're like looking at your grandma's Christmas tree?
Well, I think when I go see my grandma in jail and basically talk to her about the last decade and all the things she's done, that's yeah. That's when I'll get maybe a little bit nostalgic, but we're very forward thinking right now because I think we've been a band for 13 years, and with our glorious last record, Master Volume, we've finally got our foot in the door. So I think we're very much so future minded and what our next steps are. But yeah, there hasn't really been any windows for me personally of nostalgia yet.
Boys, no.
It was pretty awesome being here in the summer. It was really hot.
Oh God, it was so hot.
I'll never forget the ice cream sandwich I almost Uber Eats to the. I'll always be thinking fondly about that.
All right.
Kyle?
I don't even know what day it is right now.
Okay,
So
fair enough. I do find like sometimes you don't expect that you're gonna be nostalgic, and then something will just trigger it. Maybe it's a holiday song. Maybe it's Spotify Wrapped. Oh my God, I listened to that so much. And then they're hitting us with the end of the decade. I'm going, oh, son of a oh my. So I sort of unexpectedly became, that was my trigger. But for everybody it's different, and I like that. Forget it, man. The past is the past. Let's keep moving forward. So 2020, Dirty Nell. What can you tell us?
Just nothing short of world domination.
That's exactly what I would expect. 1,000 million zillion %. Two sort of serious questions. Outside of Wawa and visiting your grandma in jail, what's something you're obsessed with that has nothing to do with making music or performing every night? Something you like to do that like is something personal to you, that feeds your soul, man, that that you find really interesting, satisfying.
I like to hang out with my the dogs at my parents' house, our family dogs. That's probably my favorite thing to do when we're home. Just take them out for a walk and rediscover life through the eyes of a wily hound.
There's that normalcy that you definitely don't have when you're on the road, right? Like that.
Yes, I certainly enjoyed that. How about you, Ross?
I like wandering around, taking photos.
Kyle, what about you?
that's my thing, and I did that.
Okay.
No, I take photos.
Okay.
I have a bunch of film cameras that I walk around with.
Cool. Do you find it's easier or harder to find gear like on eBay now, the further and further we get away from analog stuff? Do you do is it all manual?
Are you, like for photo?
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends. You can find good deals online. It depends on what you're looking for. I almost find it harder to find good places to get deals, like in an actual store. Because the thing with, and maybe this is what you're trying to get at, but I find the thing with going to a store is that there is eBay and everything like that.
Yeah.
So people can easily just like, what's this go for online? And then sell it for kind of an overpriced amount. But there are a few hidden gems. I don't know. There's a good, that's one of my favorite things in the world is finding like an antique store or something that had, like, you just know, like, oh, I'm going to find something in here. Like in Calgary earlier this year, I found a bunch of camera stuff for like $130, which was a big steal. Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's kind of that way at record stores too. When you find a good record store, at this point.
Yeah, or you just happen like, I don't know, the record, like the sleeve is damaged a bit, so it makes it way cheaper, and then you're like, cool.
Yeah, totally. And last but not least, this is my favorite question to ask, no matter what answer that comes from it. When you first started to fall in love with music, I don't want to know like influences or anything like that. What I want to know is, did you have posters hanging on your bedroom walls, perhaps Husker Du or AC/DC? And what were they? Like when you were like, this is my thing and I'm going to put it on my wall so everybody knows.
I had a poster of Stompin' Tom Connors, an obscure country music artist from the 1970s from Canada. He sang the hockey song, and yeah, I was. My dad raised us on country music. There was always a war in the house between country music from my dad and Enya and women and songs from my mom. A lot of CDs snapped in half. So I think that's actually like a fair description of how I have turned out musically now. It's country music and Enya.
That's fascinating, Ross.
I had pictures of Enya on my wall. That's why we play music together. Yeah.
And how are you going to bring this home, Kyle?
Well, my dad was a big Pink Floyd fan, so there's a lot of Pink Floyd posters around my house. Oh, yeah. And there's that stuff. I don't know, it was interesting. Like, me personally, though, I had more, like, movie and sports posters when I was growing up.
Can you throw another, like, completely obscure Canadian reference at me so I can Google something else when we wrap up?
Oh, an obscure Canadian
well, I
reference?
don't know.
I don't know. We have milk in bags. Do you know that? We have milk bags.
No.
Yeah.
I meant in the, like, entertainment poster world, but that's cool. I'll take milk bags, too.
Yeah.
I actually had a poster of Sum 41 on my wall.
Okay.
And they're a Canadian band.
There we go.
And we're playing with them on Friday.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
There's a Canadian acoustic comedy duo called McLean and McLean. And they are, I don't know, my dad had a record of theirs. It's pretty raunchy stuff, but it's funny.
Like Canadian raunchy, though, right?
No, it's pretty, like, yeah.
Okay. Well, and it's funny because I grew up in Detroit, so I'm, like, basically 95% Canadian.
Or like Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember what their characters were called, but from SCTV, you know.
Awesome.
So actually, a little known fact is that Kyle's dad and my grandma are in jail together.
And we have officially gone off the rails. Nobody's in jail in Canada. That's not. I've been there. That's not how it works. I just know.
It's actually just kind of like a series of penalty boxes. But
oh, you're my favorite. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you very
This
much
is
for
really
having
cool.
us.
So, for everybody who does not know, the deluxe edition of Master Volume with 2 bonus songs is out. Maybe cool Christmas gifting options.
yes.
And then in that cold situation. And this Friday, the 13th, is when that Christmas song will be out. We got the exclusive
Heck
stripped
yeah.
back, awesome, almost world debut of it here today in our AT&T Thanks Sound Studio on Radio 104.5. It is always a pleasure. We hope to have you back again when all of the awesomeness is happening in 2020.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the time and the songs and the chat, Luke and Ross and Kyle, the Dirty Now. Thank you.